Hi there, today we're unboxing a wireless CCTV system. So this particular system is by the following company. Details are in the description below for anyone thinking of purchasing. So let's have a quick look around the packaging. Comes nicely packaged in a compact box here with carry handle on there as well. If I come round, another picture as well. And if I come to the actual side, got some details here. So it's an 8-channel system, can record up to 1080p on the actual NVR. So that's the actual unit that will record the actual footage. The cameras you get with this, you get 4 cameras and that's 960p. So a slightly lower resolution on those. And it comes with a pre-installed 1TB hard disk on there. Okay, so let's open it up, see what we get in the packaging. Okay, so I've laid out all the items you get in the packaging, so let me quickly go through them one by one. So initially we've got a manual. So a number of pages here, all in English, got some diagrams, some screenshots as well. Okay, next we've got a triangular piece of card saying quality control passed. And then we've got some stickers, 4 of them, video surveillance on there. Okay, wireless kit statement, some more details, packing list, and more details around the actual system and setting it up. Okay, and then we've got a matching code manual. So this system can actually support 8 cameras, but it comes with 4, so you can buy additional ones. And this provides details of how to add the additional cameras. Okay, then we've got a packet of screws for hard disk, but this already comes pre-installed with a hard disk. So not quite sure why they've given that. A mouse, obviously, to connect to the actual system to help configure it. Very cheapo mouse, I have to admit, but that's standard with these CCTV systems. Just sort of a one-off configuration and you're not using it regularly. So build quality is quite cheap and USB connection on there, so that's fine. Got a power adapter, DC power adapter for the actual NVR, which is there. And just to show the details on there, so it's DC 12 volts, 2.4 amps. And build quality of this seems good. And the cable length I've already measured on this, it's about 80 centimeters. Okay, and then, which is quite a surprise, you've got a HDMI cable, which is braided. So quality of this feels really good. And generally, these companies don't give away HDMI cables with them. So really surprised. And let me come in close if I can. There you go. Looks gold plated. And again, nice and chunky, really good build on there. Okay. Next thing to show, Ethernet cable. Reasonable out there. Just show. Okay. And then we've got 2 antennas here to actually connect to the NVR. I guess that's to give an additional range so you can move it away so you don't have to have it directly on there. So generally they come popping up straight from there. And you've got a 3rd aerial as well. So you can have one connected on there and another one at a slight distance to give a larger range. So an interesting thing to note about these types of systems. So if no walls were in the way and we had the cameras plugged in at a location and the NVR, you'd get a range of around 150 feet, what the literature says. Now, if you had one wall in the way, that range would suddenly be reduced to 80 foot. And then if you had 2 walls in the way, that would be reduced to 30 foot. So keep that in mind if you're going to purchase a system like that. Obviously, that NVR with the actual aerials is going to have to go in a central point where it can pick up all the cameras, and the more walls and things in the way, it's going to reduce the range. So keep that in mind. So good is you're getting additional aerials where you can move them around. See, and it's a nice amount of cable on there as well. Let me unwind that just to show. So quite a bit on there. Okay, next we've got some rubber covers. So there's an Ethernet port on the actual cameras, so this can be used just to seal them up. Okay, and then the 4 power adapters for each of the cameras. So I'll quickly show, got 12 volts, 1 amp, and you get about 2.5 meters on each one of this. So quite a lot of cable, which is nice, and it's good they've thought to give this much as well. And build quality seems good with a DC connector on there. Okay, 4 fixtures with 3 screws, 3 raw plugs, and obviously an Allen key. And you've got Wi-Fi aerial for each camera. Let's bring the camera over, and I have to admit, nice size to it, not too bulky. So if I bring my ruler in, you can see about 10 centimeters with a diameter, let me come in at the front, of around, just a little bit around 6. You can see the LEDs on there and the lens. Okay, bring it round. And build quality seems good. All solid metal all the way round. And obviously the adjuster is there, so you can maneuver it into position and then tighten it to how you want it. Okay, the actual aerial goes straight onto this point. So if I tighten that up, like so, and then there you go. That's what it will look like when it's in position. And there you go. You've got the seal at the back, so you can drill into a soffit, for example, to have that going in so it's completely hidden, or have it going just above into the notch here and going into a waterproof box or something outside, just so you can connect it up. So obviously on here you've got 2 points, so Ethernet there and your actual power adapter DC connector there, and there you go. Good quality on that, and impressed by the actual size of it. Okay, so the next thing worth mentioning is the actual antennas with the cable on there. So you've got 2.7 meters on each one of these, so a good amount of cable there, so it can be positioned at another end of a room if you wanted to. Okay, just to mention, the Ethernet cable is actually 90 centimeters and the HDMI cable is 1.2 meters in length. Okay, let's have a look at the actual NVR. So plastic fascia on the front, reasonable tough plastic on there, 3 LED indicators, and then metal all the way round. Okay, size wise, doesn't seem too large, so which is quite nice. So it's 25.5 by 21, and then height wise you're talking about, with the actual legs, let's say 4.5 centimeters. Okay, got some plastic at the bottom, no rubber pads on there. You've got some holes here, so you could hook it up and just hook it onto a wall, for example, like so. Okay, vents along the side. At the back, you've got the 2 antenna points, VGA connection, HDMI, Ethernet, 2 USB, and a DC power point. And that's it. Nice, the hard disk is pre-installed, so no messing around with this, so you should be ready to go as soon as you've unpacked. Okay, so next, let me show how to set up this system. Pretty straightforward, nothing too complex about it. So let's initially take the NVR, and at the back, just a few things to connect up. So initially, let's connect the power. So out of all the power adapters, the way to recognize the actual one for the NVR is the rectangular design. The other ones all have a curved design at the back, just to show. Okay, and the end of that plugs in to the DC power point just here. Okay, next, let's plug in the mouse. So USB connector, and that can just plug in there. Then we've got an Ethernet connector that plugs in there, and the other end would plug into your router. And then you've got a HDMI connector. So if I take the HDMI cable, pop off the cover at the back, and then plug that in. So that's that connected. And finally, you want to put the aerials in. So initially, I'll use one of these. Surprised they've not come with 2 of these, because obviously you've got the 2 cabled ones. I'm surprised they've not given 2 just short ones. It would have been nice if they gave 1 more, in case you didn't need a large range on it. And then the other one, you can just take and just screw on the back, like so. And there you go. the NVR's fully connected now. So the next thing to connect is the actual camera. So that's quite straightforward as well. So I'll take the power adapter for the camera. Obviously the aerial's connected already, and we'll just plug the power straight in, and there you go, simple as that. And we can take the sealing bracket if we're not going to use the Ethernet connectivity and just place that over it, and there you go, that's sealed up as well. So we're ready to go now. All we need to do is plug it in. So we'll plug it into a monitor, plug the power in, and plug the camera in as well, and that's it. Nothing in between, obviously all wireless connectivity. Okay, so I'm at my desk area and you can see the NVR there. The red cable going into it is actually plugged directly into the router, and just to show the 4 cameras in position here, and obviously everything's plugged in. So keep in mind, for these cameras to actually work, you do need a power source reasonably close to it to enable you to plug it in. Okay, so I've repositioned the camera. Let me turn on the system. So hear the disc spinning and powering on. There you go, you've got some branding appearing on screen and saying the system's initializing. Okay, so there you go, system started up, and give it a second. Looks like it's initializing all the cameras straight away. There you go. Nothing to do. Really is. I was quite shocked. I thought they might have to do something, but there you go. Ready to use straight away. And I'll just move the cameras slightly just to show. There's one of them. There's another one. Third one. And the 4th one. So very good. Very straightforward and working straight away. So let's give it a moment now. Okay, so the first thing to note, the time on the system is incorrect. So 2005 is being shown. So let me right click initially, and this is the menu option you're presented with. So let's go through these options quickly. So split screen, and that's the view you can get. So 1 times, 4 times, 6 times, 8 times, and 9 times. Let's go to 6. So you can have more systems showing quite easily, and like I've said, the NVR actually supports up to 8 cameras. Okay, so video manage, if I click on there, no password initially, and you can see the IP address given to each of the cameras. So they're the ones there, and gaps remaining for the other ones. Okay, if I cancel that, right click, system setup. Okay, let's go through these options then. So we've got general setup here, auto logout, key buzzer, language, keypad type, remote ID, boot wizard. Okay, show cloud ID when preview, show time when preview, auto turn off screen. Okay, time. Okay, we can sync the time, sync now. Okay, so you see the date on the cameras has changed, but the time's still incorrect, but we can still go through the other setup options. Okay, so screen setup, VGA resolution, you can adjust that, auto switch, HD setup, so that's how much is used at the moment, 6 gig, and that's the capacity we're seeing at the moment, and you can format it quite easily. Error setup, hard disks not found, you can enable that, and other errors as well. So for these errors, you can pick what you want to happen, get an alarm or a buzzer or an email notice. That's quite useful. Okay, record setup. So we've got record plan. So we can set it to record at a certain time if there's an alarm or a motion. If I just select the option like that, and you can say if there's motion during this period, then we want to detect it and alarm during this time. There you go. Okay, and let's go to zone setup. Okay. Next is network setup. Details there. It's showing the cloud connectivity is online as well. DDNS. Okay. Power over Ethernet. 3G email setup here, and Wi-Fi setup. Okay. Okay, and then we have channel setup, and this shows each of the streams and the resolution of the stream, and in code mode. Okay, go through there. So we've got PTZ set up there. We'll have each channel. You can change on there, but this isn't PTZ. Channel OSD, so that's the actual title you see on there. Video detection, this is used for actual motion detection. Bit rate, so this is the actual transfer rate coming from each camera. Channel detail, so that's the camera on each one, and it's showing you the resolution and the software version. And IP camera, showing the actual fixed mode. System admin. Okay. Hard disk info, system log, users, you can add additional users, system upgrade, so you can update via this. System maintenance, okay, so you can get it to do an auto maintenance, certain time, day. Factory settings, so do a reset on these. IPC maintenance. So you can do firmware updates to each of the cameras as well via this. Okay, that's what we have here. So let's come out of there. If we right click again, video playback. So you can go through the footage and play back bits and pieces that have been recorded. Let's go back, video backup. So you can back this up to USB storage. So if you plug it in at the back, so you've got two USB ports, you can select it there and obviously copy across what you need or backup. Okay, right click again, color adjust, so you can adjust settings on the actual color. PTZ control, there's no PTZ control here on this particular system with those cameras. Manual record, you can set it to be always on, so continuous recording. Volume, there's no microphones on this, so that's no good. Okay, let's click back on and we'll go to setup wizard. Okay, choose phone client next to that, details there. Let's change the time zone. So this is probably worth doing first time, and that will correctly set the time. And LAN connection testing. Okay, that's good. Next to that, that's the hard disk. And that's it. Yeah, time's correct now. So worth going to the setup wizard. Okay, fast network. Okay, just to show your IP address and cloud ID. Come back out of there. Wi-Fi add. So this is to add more devices. Okay, and finally exit system. So pretty straightforward, nothing too complex about this. Easy to set up and navigate through the menus. Straightforward amount of options there to actually get this up and running quite quickly. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show is how to set up motion detection. So if I right click and go to system setup, we click on channel setup and video detection. Now you can pick the channel you want, and you can say enable or disable the motion detection on that channel. You can say the alarm duration, so that's if you had the alarm side of things configured on this, but this system doesn't come with that. Sensitivity, arming time, so you can say during these times it's armed, and area edit, so you can actually select a region to get alerted on or clear it all. Okay, and then you can actually set if you want a buzzer to go off on the actual NVR, an email notice to be sent to you, or an app alarm. So if I just click buzzer for now, we click OK to that, let it save the configuration, let's give it a moment, and if I reach out now, there you go, that's what you hear. You'll hear the buzzer going off, so you know there's some motion there. So that's a useful facility to have. So for example, if you have it pointing at your doorstep and you're wondering if someone's there, this will be a good indication. Okay, so let's move on to the phone side of things. So I've got my Android device here. Let me go to the Play Store. And then we want to search for IP Pro. And we'll install that. Okay, so now that's installed. Let me click on open. Give it a moment to start up. Okay, it's asking for access now. Access to photos, media and files on the device. We'll allow that. Okay, next we want to register an account. So let me click on register and let me enter my details in off camera and we can continue after that. Okay, so I've entered in my details. So let me click confirm. Let's give it a moment. Okay, it's now asking to access the record audio. I'll deny that, no need for that. And next we're going to click on the plus and we're going to select DVR, NVR, and I'm going to scan in the QR code. So I'm going to allow it access to take pictures and record video. And if I come over to the actual screen, let it scan it in, and we'll name the device test, and no password for this. I'll just click complete. Give it a moment. It's added in. If we go back, there you go. Added in straight away. How simple is that? I'll briefly show you around the app. So at the bottom, you've got screenshot. So if I click that, give it a moment, hang on, let's click on one of the cameras. Give it some time to actually connect. Okay, I'll go into one of them, hit screenshot. Screenshot fails. Okay, recording's worked. See a red light in the corner. Okay, try screenshot again. Screenshot succeeds. Okay, so it's just a one-off. Playback. I can actually go through past footage and see what's been going on. There you go. That's how it was earlier. With the light off in the room. Okay, come out of that, go into real time again. Okay, at the top you've got the actual aspect ratio, you've got standard definition HD, you've got a speaker icon, but that's no use here because there's no microphone in this system. Click here and you've got a backup option, and that's it. Pretty straightforward, nothing too complex. Okay, so if I double click, turn the phone and go into full screen, this is what we're presented with. You've got a zoom option, that doesn't work. It's more for a camera with a zoom built in. Same with the focus. Then you've got preset options, that's for PTZ. Okay, playback option there. If I click on there, it will go back four screen view. You've got options to record. Okay, and here screenshot and return to the other view. There you go, pretty straightforward to use and easy to set up. Okay, so next I'm going to show how to get push notifications going to your mobile phone if there's any motion detected on the cameras. So at the actual console, if I right click, go to System Setup, Channel Setup, and then Video Detection, and all we need to do is select our channel, which is the actual camera, so the 4 channels there, any one of those, and we can just click App Alarm. So I'll have it ticked on channel 1, and then a simple way to copy it over is just there, click the other cameras, click OK, you're done, and then OK to that. Give it a moment to save the configuration. And now if I actually put my hand over one of the cameras just for a moment, just to detect motion, what you'll see is a motion detection alarm go and get pushed to your phone. So there you go. If I drop this down, you can just see it there. And if I go to info, just at the top you can see there 9:37, and it records 30 seconds, so it's just in the middle of completing that recording. So let's give it a moment just to finish. And there you go. Simple as that to configure push notification. How useful is that? You'll get a notification straight away and you can see a short clip of the activity that's happened. So very useful. Okay, so you've seen the unboxing and setup of this CCTV system. One thing I didn't show actually, the bottom of the actual antennas is magnetic. So if I put on there, it just sticks directly on there. So any metal surface, it will just stick directly on. So forgot to mention that one. Setup wise, very simple to set up, nothing to do, literally plug it all in and it works straight out of the box. Now I like the fact that you can simply install the app on your phone and get it configured for push notifications. And the push notifications are quite cool because they come in 30-second clips and you can get a brief notification on exact activity going on. So there you go. Hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing this. Details are in the description below. Thanks for viewing and don't forget to like and subscribe.